Welcome to Skinner's Highlights and Highballs. I'm J.M. Hirsch, author of Shake, Strain, Done, Craft Cocktails at Home. And today I'm your bartender. And since nothing gets those bids going like a little something in the glass, let's dive right in. So today we're going to make a drink that's kind of inspired by a classic that dates to around Prohibition. It was called The Last Word, and it was first made by the Detroit Athletic Club. It's kind of an appropriate name because it's not something you want to hear about. The drink actually was pretty awful. It ended up being kind of a sweet and sour bomb in your mouth. The original ratios call for equal parts gin and maraschino liqueur and green chartreuse and lime juice. Everything just blows out your taste buds and it's not a pleasant experience. However, if you dig beneath the surface, there are some good bones, and that's what we're going to do today. We are going to revamp this cocktail, give it a modern edge and a new name. We're going to call it Going Once, Going Twice. So let's mix. All right. This is a shaken cocktail, so we're going to grab a cocktail shaker, and we're going to go with 2.5 ounces of gin. So pretty much any London dry style gin will work in this cocktail. You don't want anything too botanical because there's a lot going on in this drink. So you don't want them to compete against one another. All right, so that's our gin. To that, we're going to add 1/2 ounce of green chartreuse. Now, green chartreuse is a French liqueur that's made from about 130 different roots and spices and flowers and herbs and all that. And all of which is to say, it tastes kind of herbal. It's got a big presence. You wouldn't want an equal part of this. Just a little hint is just right. Now, to that, we're going to sweeten things up with 1/2 ounce of maraschino liqueur, which gives us some nice, sweet, fruity cherry notes. Again, this is not the sort of thing you want to go too heavy on because it has a really sweet presence in the drink. Finally, my own little twist to this cocktail, we're going to add 1/4 ounce of Licor 43. Now, this is a Spanish liqueur that has kind of vanilla spice notes. And again, a little goes a long way. You don't want to use more than about 1/4 ounce of this. All right. Now, to round things out, cocktail bitters, Angostura. You could use orange if you want to give it more of a fruity note, but I like kind of the earthy spiciness of Angostura. Now, the next big step, the important step, 6 to 10 granules of kosher salt. Now, most people don't salt their cocktails. Most people put the salt on the rim of their cocktails. And I'm going to tell you, that is the absolute worst way to use salt in a cocktail. As soon as your lips touch the rim of that glass, you're not going to taste anything else that's going on inside the glass because your taste buds are going to be blown out by all that salt. However, putting just a little bit of salt in the cocktail itself, it acts just like in our cooking. It heightens and elevates all the other flavors in the drink. So, just 6 to 10 granules, not going to taste briny, not going to taste salty, but everything else is going to taste bigger and brighter and just more vibrant. So, let's add some ice and get shaken. There we go. You don't need a ton of ice, a little bit like that. Now, we're going to give it a good shake. There's not a lot happening in here that needs mixing. There's no sugar syrup, there's no fruit juices, no egg whites, so you don't have to shake more than about 5 to 8 seconds hot, and that will be plenty. We're going to put it into what I consider a modern highball, which is kind of somewhere in between a highball and a flute. And that is it. We're going to pour this very carefully so that we don't spill it all over the place. There we go. Perfect. There we go. And I might actually just drop 1 or 2 ice cubes in there. I'm not a big fan of icing my cocktails in the glass. This is because when you do that, the dilution and the chilling point of the cocktail constantly changes while you sip it. Sometimes you want that, maybe with an old fashioned, but with a lot of drinks, you've already kind of set it at the flavor profile you want in the cocktail shaker. Now, if you mess around with the ice in the glass, it's going to dilute too much. So I just use a little bit of ice. So anyway, cheers to happy bidding, to going once, to going twice. Oh, well, that's really yummy. Good luck.